Today we are taking a look at exponential functions. It's chapter 6, page 114. So let's take a look. That is what our function looks like. Y equals ab to the power of x plus q. What does this mean? It means we have two variables. That means an unknown times an unknown that's to the power of x plus q. And this is also an example of what exponential graphs look like. What can we see immediately? We have an asymptote. What is an asymptote again? A line that it approaches but never touches, okay? And then we also see, I always remember exponential, and it looks like it's making a little x. Okay, so now let's go have a look at the influence of a, b, and q on a graph. Okay, so here we have our formula. So a stretches the graph. What does that mean? Exactly the same as all the others. We're going to see whether it goes flatter or steeper, okay? B, now B is a new thing here. So we never use negative values for B because then it can lead to something that is not true or not a real number, okay? So therefore B is always going to be bigger than 0. Also, we never say that B is 1. Why? Because any 1 to the power of anything will always be 1. So even if I have 1 to the power of 6,000, it's still going to be 1. So B is never 1. B is always bigger than 0. Okay. And then Q, like with all the other ones, Q moves up and down the graph and then also have an influence on the asymptote, the line that it will never touch. Okay, here's an example of what A can do to the graph. Okay, so the bigger A gets, the steeper it gets, okay? And then we see that B is always bigger than 1. Okay, so here we have the 4 options of an exponential graph. So let's have a look at this one first, okay? So first we see A is bigger than 0, B is bigger than 1, okay? And y is equal to 2x. This is a positive number, okay? Here we have A bigger than 0, but B is bigger than 0, but smaller than 1, somewhere in between. And our graph turns around, okay? Here we have a look. Let's take a look at the blue one first. Now we have a negative number times B. Therefore, it is on this side of the Cartesian plane. So A is smaller than 0, B is bigger than 1. Okay, and if we have a look at the red one, we have a negative number times a between 0 and 1 number. So we know A is bigger than 0, but B is bigger than 0, smaller than 1, okay, between 0 and 1. This is our graph. For now, you just have to more or less know the shape. Once we start sketching the graphs, which we do in the next lesson, you will understand a little better. Okay, and here we're having a look at the influence of Q. As with all the other ones, it moves the graph up or down, okay? So this would be the function for the first one, the blue one. 3x plus 3, which means it moved up 3. 3x plus 2 moved up 2. Minus 1, minus 2. They went below the line. So this is the influence of Q. What is very important here is that this influences our domain and our range, okay? Again, our domain is our x values and our range is our y values. So when we work with exponential, all the x values will count. So x will be an element of R, which means x can be any real number. As for y, this is determined by our q. So when we look at the range, okay, no range, nothing. It just means y is going to be bigger than 0. When there's a q value, it means y is going to be bigger than the q value. So y bigger than 2, y bigger than 3, y bigger than minus 1, y bigger than minus 2. And that is it.